Tonight on Connecticut's news station, lawmakers back at the Capitol for a special session. What they're discussing.
And the battle over potential ballot fraud in Bridgeport continues. What we're learning tonight about additional investigations now underway.
And the state's attorneys general joining a lawsuit against Amazon. What the company is accused of doing that's causing controversy.
You deserve what you've earned, and you've earned a hell of a lot more than you're getting paid now.
Plus, a historic moment as the president hits the picket line, his message for the striking auto workers.
Now at 6, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Samaya Hernandez. The ongoing investigation into the alleged absentee ballot scandal in Bridgeport taking center stage at the state capitol today as lawmakers gathered for a special session.
Fox 61 political reporter Emma Wolfhorst was there and she joins us now in studio with the latest on this. Emma?
Brent, Samaya, today's agenda ranged from election reform to approving a state Supreme Court nominee. But Bridgeport was on lawmakers' minds as both parties raised larger questions about election security in Connecticut, with some state lawmakers calling for more reform and oversight.
Democracy shouldn't occur in the dark of night, and that's what's happening.
The cloud of alleged election fraud in Bridgeport covering the state capitol during Tuesday's special session.
Our caucus takes very seriously what we have seen in videotape and the accusations being alleged in the city of Bridgeport.
What was initially a short agenda grew to long discussions about election security and confidence.
How loose are we going to let our elections go? At some point, we need to examine our system and actually acknowledge the problem.
Republicans in both chambers introduced multiple amendments Tuesday to ban absentee ballot drop boxes statewide, authorize the designated elections monitor in Bridgeport to ban the use of drop boxes just within the city, and increase penalties for criminal election violations by requiring a mandatory minimum 1-year prison sentence. All amendments failed on party line votes.
The drop boxes have made it too easy to harvest ballots and dump them into the system.
Either suspending or banning drop boxes would inevitably disenfranchise hundreds, if not thousands, of voters throughout the state.
Disagreement between parties Tuesday, Republicans calling for this special session to be used to address what's playing out in Bridgeport.
Look at what the majority is doing right now. We have an opportunity to fix this before the November election, and they want to push it out.
While Democrats argue these issues should be taken up during the regular session in February.
We don't believe the wrecking ball approach is the right one here. All you're doing is disenfranchising those individuals.
We need to allow the situation to develop in Bridgeport so we actually know what happened, and we'll be back in regular session soon enough in order to make any changes we may need to make in any direction.
Now, parts of today's agenda did pass through easily in both chambers. The nomination of Nora Danahy to fill an open spot on the state Supreme Court, and moving up the state's presidential primary date 4 weeks earlier from the last Tuesday in April to the first Tuesday. Samaya, Brent.
All right, Emma, thank you. A Fox 61 follow-up now on the absentee ballot scandal in Bridgeport. Fox 61's Matt Caron has now confirmed at least 6 investigations are underway by the State Elections Enforcement Commission. He joins us live now from SEEC headquarters in Hartford with the latest on this. Matt?
Well, we have learned that these investigations are in addition to the 2 referrals that SEEC is already investigating from the Bridgeport Police Department relating to possible ballot fraud in connection to that surveillance video and the Fireside Apartments.
I got your back, Mayor.
It's our first detailed description of the tactics Wanda Jeter and other Ganim campaign operatives allegedly used while talking to Bridgeport voters.
The fundamental issue here is that civil rights were violated when we talk about the voters of Bridgeport. And we want clarity, we want integrity back in the vote.
Through the Freedom of Information Act, Fox 61 obtained these 4 sworn affidavit complaints sent to the State Elections Enforcement Commission. Among the allegations, Ms. Jeter promised a voter she can get her a Section 8 voucher if she votes for Ganim. Another states she always comes and fills it out for me. Another stating they had fear of Wanda Jeter because she makes threats to people.
We want to try to get information about what she did, both with those ballots, but also with other absentee ballot applications and other absentee ballots. So she is a crucial witness.
Here's a map of the nearly 12 Bridgeport locations where Gomes campaign canvassers allege they identified absentee ballot irregularities. Other allegations not naming Wanda Jeter include an absentee ballot being received by the town clerk from a name that didn't live at the addressed residence. A Ganem canvasser allegedly telling a voter line A was the only Democratic line, and a voter who claimed his mailbox lock had been tampered with and someone had stolen his absentee ballot. Many of the allegations coming from low-income, elderly, non-English speaking homes.
If you look at the absentee ballot logs, there are a lot of absentee ballots being cast at senior living facilities.
We had a huge turnout with seniors. Many of them did and do mail in. And I've always had not only one place in my heart for our seniors along with our youth, but they've been a strong base of support.
Mayor Ganem has continued to deny any involvement, saying his focus remains on moving Bridgeport forward.
Never take a vote, someone's support for granted. I'll be out, which I enjoy doing, walking, knocking on doors, at public events, talking to people, staying connected in the neighborhoods with the thousands that we met over the past number of months.
All this as the Bridgeport police continues their investigation and as a judge gets closer to deciding a civil lawsuit where he is asked to throw out the results of the recent primary, and as the FBI continues to at least acknowledge that they are aware of what is happening in Bridgeport, and as the clock ticks just a little bit closer every day to November 7th, the date of the general election. We're live here in Hartford outside SEEK headquarters. Matt Caron, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Thank you, Matt. Multiple attorneys general around the nation are joining the Federal Trade Commission in a lawsuit against Amazon. The FTC says Amazon is illegally maintaining monopoly power. The lawsuit states the company's actions allow it to stop rivals and sellers from lowering prices, degrade quality for shoppers, and overcharge sellers and much more. Connecticut Attorney General William Tong says Amazon is abusing its market dominance, which is leading to higher prices and less choice.
We're here today to make sure that Amazon plays by the rules, that it doesn't stand in the way of consumer choice and innovation, and that we pay only as much as we should have to pay for products in a free and fair marketplace.
The FTC and states allege Amazon's anti-competitive conduct occurs in two markets: the online superstore market that serves shoppers and the market for online marketplace services purchased by sellers.
All right, time for a look at the weather. It was kind of a gloomy morning out there, but then it dried out, the sun came out, and we are off and running on a new stretch of nicer weather.
And we'll take it. We needed it.
Yeah.
I'm ready for it. Here's meteorologist Ryan Breton to tell us more about when we will see more sunshine this weekend. Hi, Ryan.
Yeah, hey guys, we're in for a good stretch of weather the next 7 days. There's really only just one day that looks to be cloudier and maybe a bit wetter as well. The clouds now moving south tonight, and we have a big area of high pressure coming down from Canada with dry, comfortable air. Look at the view right now in New Haven. Sun goes down in about 40 minutes, so not much time left, but it is going to be a very nice evening. Temperatures will be dropping pretty quickly tonight, down through the 40s by morning, and given this air mass is pretty dry and crisp, we may have some numbers that briefly hit about 39. Not expecting any frost tonight, but it goes to show that comfortable air moving in for sure. Despite the cool start tomorrow morning, we warm back close to 70 in the afternoon. We'll have a mix of sunshine and high clouds, and another cool, comfortable evening on the way tomorrow night. Another good day on Thursday, but the weather does look like it changes a bit on Friday. More clouds with a chance for some showers. Now, after that chance for showers, we may have a really good weekend. We'll talk more about that coming up in just about 10 minutes.
Thanks, Ryan. New at 6, the ferries to Block Island, Rhode Island, are canceled once again due to sea conditions. The ferries haven't been running since Saturday because officials say they cannot safely exit and enter Old Harbor. Right now, the ferries are hoping to be up and running tomorrow with an adjusted schedule. Anyone who has tickets for any days of those service when they were canceled will be able to use them when it resumes.
Fire officials in Naugatuck say a building will have to be demolished after it was destroyed by fire. The fire started around 6 o'clock last night at the former Lewis Engineering building on Water Street. The building was once used to make electronic parts for planes, but has been mostly empty for about 10 years now. Naugatuck's fire chief says this was the biggest fire Naugatuck has seen in years.
Well, shortly after we pulled out, we started hearing internal building collapses, and a couple hours in, the front wall of the building did collapse onto the street. We just basically stayed in a safe zone and made sure our guys were safe and just put water on the fire.
Right now, there's no word on what caused the fire, but it is under investigation.
New at 6, a Haddam woman is accused of running a dog training scam that led to the death of a 3-year-old French bulldog. Police say a resident of North Reading, Massachusetts, had brought their French bulldog to the trainer, but the dog was not returned at the agreed upon time. Police later learned that the dog had died around September 4th, but the trainer had sent the owner photos that made it look like the training was still going on after that date. 4 other dogs were recovered from the trainer and returned to their owners in Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and here in Connecticut. The trainer has only been identified as a 27-year-old woman at this time.
Well, college may soon be more affordable for some prospective students across the state. Governor Lamont's office announcing an expansion of the state's dual credit course program for high school students to help them get an early start on a college degree. Fox 61's Lindsay Kane is at Central Connecticut State University to explain.
The dual credit program not only allows high schoolers to work towards earning their high school diploma, but also earning college credit at the same time. Governor Lamont's administration is announcing a $3.8 million grant to 89 school districts across the state. The goal is to expand the dual credit offerings in all participating high schools across Connecticut to provide even more opportunities for students to get a head start on college. Governor Lamont says the program helps give education a clear purpose.
I think what we're trying to do with these dual degrees, what we're trying to do with internships, what we're trying to do with apprentice programs, what we're trying to do with after-school programs, is make education real and give it a sense of purpose.
State officials say dual credit courses not only help students prepare for college, they also help make college more affordable for students and their families. Students can take classes in their high schools beginning freshman year that can be transferred for college credit. Some students are able to earn a year and a half's worth of college credits by their high school graduation. Students who are able to take multiple dual credit courses can step foot on campus already having earned credits, which means they won't have to pay for as many classes. There are 19 colleges and universities across the state enrolled in the program, including Quinnipiac, Sacred Heart, UConn, the University of Hartford, and Wesleyan, to name a few. Close to 19,000 students took part in the programs last year, and state officials are hoping in the future to continue investing in high school students. In New Britain, Lindsay Kane, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.